Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jojin Movie So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
Today we are going to talk about Season 4, Episode 10, the finale of Succession, and review that.
Yeah, and
the
a
whole
review
series.
for the entire series.
What a grand finale that was. What a beautiful... When it said an hour and 28 minutes, I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, by the way, spoiler alert. Major
spoilers for the entire series. Please come back later after watching the finale. Here we go.
You know what I do is every time I watch the episode, I never check how long it is.
Oh, yeah.
I just let it run.
That's smart, actually. But I saw the 128 mark, and I knew they were going to build up to something. And they did. And, you know, one of the tragedies of Succession is after watching the finale, it's like a Greek prophecy. You know how, like, one of those oracles in Delphi says, you're going to die. Don't try anything. And the hero always goes, no, I'm going to try my best to avoid it. And you end up killing your mother. Killing your father.
Killing your father, marrying your mother, pulling your eyeballs out. And,
exactly. Yeah. And, you know, that's the sad part about this finale is, like, I think watching that last conference room between the siblings, I think the finale did so well in building up our expectation for that to not happen. But we've seen it a lot already, how the siblings are, because of Logan's education philosophy, which is quite unique or abusive.
And I think twisted.
Yeah, it just... it's an alliance that crumbles so easily. And you know, if one of those actors get an Emmy, I think it should be Sarah Snook that who played Shiv, because her performance here and in episode 3 were the best. She played a sobbing daughter returning to a girl. Also, and in this finale, she played somebody who is, I don't know, like, is she justified? Like, I don't think you'll be good at it. Do you think? Like, it's true, but it's also very personal at the same time, right? The series has been so far always good at, you know, missing the altruistic and the personal altogether. You know, you can't help but wonder, like, yeah, she's right, but she also has a selfish motivation there. And, you know, wow. The ending was really heartbreaking.
Well, it wasn't really heartbreaking for me.
Here we go.
It's like the exact the exact ending that I've always wanted. Because ever since, what was it, like the end of season 3, was it?
Yeah.
Season 2, where Logan decides to sell the company.
Yeah, season 3.
Yeah, I always had hope that none of the siblings would get the company.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think they deserve it?
Yeah, and the final episode finally proved it.
Yeah.
It showed me that none of them truly deserve any of this. And I could hear Logan, like, yelling in heaven or hell, wherever he is, like, build your own pile. You know, I could hear it resonate.
You know, I respect your opinion, Won-Jin, but I'm going to disagree with that. Because I felt like for the first 3 seasons, the show was asking us, does Logan deserve this job too? You know what I mean? Like, I get where you're coming from, because I guess Logan built it, so he has more voice over, like, his legacy, quote unquote. But, you know, we've seen what a terrible person Logan is too, and he's in charge of this large media company that just the last episode we already saw what their decision has repercussion for the whole nation. You know, so the question I thought the show was asking was, I thought Roman said it perfectly. After for the fight, you know, Kendall loses his shit. I'm the firstborn son. I deserve it. He turns to this little boy again. But Roman says, we're all bullshit. I thought that was not just a commentary on the siblings, because that's how we feel already, right? Yeah, you're all, as Logan says, quote unquote, you are not serious people. I love you, but you're not serious people. But Logan is also, like, you got to remember what Ewan said too on the last set. he decided he didn't care anymore. Like, he said in a brotherly, loving way that my brother was a piece of shit. Fuck him. I love him, but fuck him. You know? So, I thought the ending kind of answered all that. Like, it was like a commentary on how...
Not just the siblings, but also on Logan.
Sure, because what did he actually build? Like, if you think about it, Lucas is Logan's stand-in, right? But he is just as shallow and threatening and hysterical as Logan is. Remember in the finale that scene? Wake up, zombies! Phones! And then he's like... And then how cruel he is towards Shiv, too. It's like, you know, who are our masters? And like, the total nonchalance of the executives, too. Like, Frank and Carl going, one more rodeo? And Hugo already ready to serve a new master. It's I felt like... Okay, everybody can have their own commentary, right? But I thought, like, the show was speaking about the corrupting power of, power, seeking power. Because think about it, Won-Jin. Remember, up to like episode 3, those kids were excited about selling peers, like buying peers.
And remember the 100.
Yeah.
Remember what they were working on?
Yo, let me get this straight. Even if they failed at winning the board fight, first of all, those guys are still billionaires.
That good point. It's one of the reasons I don't feel sorry for them at all. A lot of I think like they portray this in such a tragic light. I don't know. I kind of felt like the show was trying to force me into feeling sorry for like Kendall and everybody else. But I'm thinking it's like they're still walking away with such a wealth that most people can't accumulate over like 100 different lifetimes.
That's true.
So why should I feel sorry for them?
Like, counterpoint to that, don't you think that's exactly what the show is trying to tell us? Like, money and power doesn't get you anywhere. You know, I felt that. But that was so Korean of you to say that. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Who the fuck did you think?
Go cry in your Bentley, bitch. Yeah.
Oh shit, YouTube policy. Sorry, 18 subscribers. I said the fuck already. But I felt like... No, but like... The thing is, though, Kendall is... You could almost argue, because the last scene is Kendall, I felt like it was a Kendall story, too. Like, especially this season.
And, you know, I was feeling sorry for Colin, not Kendall.
Oh.
You know, he was, like, just drifting after him like a ghost.
No, but I didn't feel sorry for Colin. I felt like that represented, like, the shell that Kendall is. Because he has his father's... superficially, he seems like his father, right? But remember, his father used to be always walking alone. There are scenes throughout all seasons where he's just walking alone with Colin like 30 feet behind him. I felt like it represented two things. One is, he's like basically, like Colin is basically his last warrior. But here's a king without a kingdom. But his father's bodyguard is still there. I thought that added to the tragedy. Another thing is, anytime Colin is walking with Logan, it's a scene of sadness, though.
That's true.
Logan,
especially what he went through in London.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Logan is, like, it's kind of his fault, too, for isolating his kids.
Well, not just kind of his fault, but I think this entire series is his fault. I mean, we could rename the show, like, Parenting instead of Succession.
So true,
we can just call this Parenting.
It really is about that, isn't it? Like, how even among the billionaires, so rich.
And I saw some parallel between this season and the first season. Remember, like, if we look back, Shiv was doing really well outside of her father's shadow as that political consultant. But it was Logan who basically like uses manipulation to drag his daughter back into the game of Thrones. And that's where things get fucked up. And they just cannot shake off this dependence on their father, and also their urge to be loved and approved by their father.
Even in death, right?
Yeah, even in death. That's what happened in season 4.
Because they're still seeking their father's approval in a way, even after his death.
And basically, they were just like Shiv in the first season. They were now like going independent. They're planning that the 100 thing and the deal with the peers and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But then after his death, they all get dragged back in. Ironically, after his death.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point because I mean, we did predict that Logan's shadow will loom large. But the great tragedy is, you know, the show gave us hope about their unified front too. And you know what's weird? Like even after, like, what's so fucking funny is like up to episode 2, your guys' plan was to sell like the whole Waystar Roycore group too. You guys are still fine. Like I assume they each have 5% or something. Your deal with Pierce to buy them for $10 billion isn't that still there?
Yeah.
I felt like they put too much meaning into it themselves.
And I think it's all because of Logan. That CEO position. After all, when you look at Tom, basically it's just a puppet now. There is no glory in taking that CEO role.
Yeah, he's like James after like Elizabeth or something.
But ever since they were kids, their father had been dangling that position like a treasured item. It's like a family heirloom that you have to prove your worth to get. Yeah, but in the eyes of others, it's not that significant.
No, but the Kendall said something really sad too. He said like 7-year-old, we didn't know this until the finale, right? Logan promised him the company. So like that's some like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory corrupted version, right? That's like a dark version of that. No, but the ending was Shakespearean because remember. Do you know what the very first line in this whole entire series is in season 1, episode 1?
What is it?
Logan is confused. He doesn't know where the bathroom is. So he keeps saying this, where am I? Where am I? I feel like that's the whole theme of the series is because despite their riches, despite their power, you know how Shiv said, I don't think Dad had a plan. He was just trying to put one foot in front of the other, right? It's so funny to me how these rich people has such a weak footing of where they are and who they are.
Good
and
point.
What they want. The funny, do you know what it is? After 4 seasons, I don't think even the kids know what they want.
Yeah. And I think this is also in part because of the parenting method of Logan.
And it reminded me a lot of, I'm sorry to sound like a snob, but Hamlet, the first thing is the guard goes to look at the ghost and says, who goes there? Who are you? Basically. What are you? Who are you? Here, where are you? What are you? There's this looming uncertainty that even in, you know, like the ending is brilliant. We don't even know what's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Like, you could argue that Kendall is like in a purgatory, right? Because the scene was beautiful with the water
in the park.
Yeah, you know, you're asking yourself, is he gonna jump? And you know, but not jumping is beautiful because we're kind of stuck in that image of Kendall.
Yeah,
always seeking something that he will never have. You know, like what's that guy who keeps like throwing the rock, like Greek myth, the rock of Sisyphus?
Oh, it's Sisyphus.
Yeah. He's stuck in that. I honestly think Roman is the happiest.
That's what I thought, because I think he's coming to terms, especially after that his breakdown against the protesters. I think he had come to accept what he is, and I think his illusion of what he is kind of breaking down.
No, but the bar scene with Mr. Culkin was brilliant because he smiles, but there's like a 2-second of his face like kind of uncertain. But I think at least he's gonna be happier than Kendall.
Yeah,
because I think Kendall has a problem with
Yeah, I mean he's still in an illusion. Remember he said, "I'm the firstborn son." No, he's not. Connor is. We've been through this. It's Connor.
And you know what's ironic? Connor, who does not seek power, we get to know that he actually had dinner with his father and his like
and
old guard.
He had a great time.
He had a great
making
time.
puns and stuff. Yeah, that was some fun stuff.
I kind of feel like that's also Logan's fault because I feel like he has good fun with people who's not threatening to them. But I guess he raised his 3 siblings to be like that.
And speaking of having no idea what they want, we forgot to mention Jess from the previous episode. I love Jess in this entire series. I love how she like acts with the eyes and everything.
Yeah.
And she drops the bad news to Kendall, although she actually wanted to wait because it was not a good day.
You're talking about episode 9. She wants to quit.
Yeah, and she wants to quit and find new opportunities. So she's moving on. She's clear like what she wants, what she doesn't want, and she's willing to walk away. And we see in contrast these wealthy siblings who basically have all the money in the world, all the influence they need. They're still living under their father's shadow, and in a sense they're still haven't matured.
Well, I think like a lot of us are not that mature, like in some parts though. But what disturbs me about the Roy children is how that directly affect their like personal and professional life. Because if you think about it, why do they really want it? Like, why? If you think about it though,
to me it feels like they've been trained to want that.
No, but like, you know, I feel like Naomi is a happier person than Kendall.
Oh, you mean the one from Pierce?
Yeah. Even after her drug incident, even her suicide incident, I feel like she knows what she wants. And it's funny how the kids don't follow their own advice too. You know how you remember how Kendall told Naomi to cash out and be happy? I was like, dude, you too, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Look who's talking.
Your 5% share is gonna be like billions.
Yeah, and spend time with your kids and Rava, and don't make the same mistake.
Yeah. It was sad all around. And one of the highlights for me was Roman breaking down when he saw Jerry.
Oh,
and you know, it was a disturbing scene where Kendall hugs him to like breach his scar, right? It's like all Roman understands is pain. Like pain. And that made me feel so bad about the siblings too, because it's not like they're not trying to love each other. You know how Shiv said, I love you, but I can't stomach you? My God, what a powerful line. You know, your sister gets to say that to you. You know, it's such a personal line. And
I know this is like a lose-lose for all of us, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's how much I just cannot stand you.
It also reminded me of Congress, Korea's National Assembly.
We see this all the time in politics.
Yeah, what is it about?
Yeah, like I say nay because fuck you. That's why.
Yeah. Not really about the greater good.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. That's so funny. But I do want to shout out to my boy Stewie though. Team Kendall, he says.
Chairman.
You know what I like about Stewie? He's so transparent and true to his word. You know, people who call him a conniving guy are actually conniving people. I feel like Stewie's the most transparent person ever. What's in it for me? I'll go with the victor.
I gotcha.
Yeah. I did feel sad for Frank though a little bit. I thought he might like go with Kendall, but I guess, you know, he's getting old, and you know, even Kendall himself, I guess these children live in a bubble that they don't quite have the respect that they think other people have for them. And whose fault is that? It's just their father's fault. Like, you remember Marsha's line in season 1? Your daddy made you a playground, but you think it's the whole world. But the problem with this playground is not only are you isolated, but your dad is also fucking abusive, shouting at you, emotional helicopter.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
So I love the ending. I love how like none of the siblings actually got anything out of this. It's like everybody's a loser here.
Yeah.
It's what they needed.
Yeah.
For the better good.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't mind a spin-off of like 5 episodes of like
I want a special for like Tom and Greg.
Hey, let me see something.
We gotta mention these two.
Oh, right.
Anyway, so what's up?
About Greg. Greg is finally castrated.
Completely.
Yeah. Like when Tom puts the dot, you know, in season 3, what was that story with Nero's eunuch wife and shit?
Yeah. That turns out it's a foreshadow.
Yeah. Finally, Greg completely has no leverage now. Because he's like, him being Roy doesn't matter anymore. The company is sold. And Tom decided to forgive him. So Greg is going to be Tom's bitch forever.
Well, I disagree. Because, practically, like, you have that position, executive assistant. Basically, you can get jobs in, like, many other places for a very good salary.
I don't know if he's going to be good at it, though.
Tom, like, saying that he's going to, like, cut down his salary and everything, I doubt it. Oh, really? I think he's going to actually, like, triple it or something. Because there's something between them. They have a stronger bond than most Roy siblings. Oh, that's what I believe.
I think they're. Oh, hey! Now that you brought that up, it never occurred to me. But in a lot of way, their relationship is like Connor and Willa, in that they're both aware that it's very transactional, and there isn't much illusion about it. Because Tom and Shiv's relationship is, I think, the complete opposite. Like I do believe. Now that we watch for 4 seasons, Tom does love Shiv. Yeah. But he's also a fucking, like, opportunist Machiavellian. And, Shiv is also a Machiavellian, too. And I think maybe you have a point of Greg and Tom being very honest with each other about what they want. They're both social climbers. I mean, man, hats off to Tom, too. Tom is... I felt sad for Shiv because I feel like if I was Shiv, I would vote for Kendall. Being the sister of a boss and a large shareholder, I thought that would be a more, like, prominent position. But I guess, like, she has Tom's kid. And I feel like Shiv is always good at winning a fight. She's just not good at winning the war. Yeah. Like, because she didn't gain much from this at all.
This entire strategy of rooting for Lucas did not go well.
And then even the final scene.
The hand?
Yeah, Tom puts out his hand, but Shiv doesn't grab it. She just places it there. It's like there's always going to be... Because remember, in this, like, finale, Shiv said there's this always... she was being really honest to Tom. Maybe a little too late now, because Tom refuses her love. But Shiv does says the unspoken thing. She's talking about the shit she dealt with her father. Her father always lying, like half truth, always the ulterior motive, right? And that's always going to be between Tom and Shiv being able to fold their hands together. That was really sad. Yeah, that was. I felt like Caroline might be the happiest woman. Like, 'cause you know how she has, like, it's like her third husband now. I feel like Shiv will divorce Tom, and she's rich, marry another, like, a cute boy, and then keep going on with these relationships. A lot like her dad. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, and basically, if I were Shiv, I still would have voted for Kendall as well. Because look how things ended up. They ended up losing their family business.
And they will never make up again, I feel like. That fight was, like, terminal.
Yeah, and look at Tom. I mean, yes, he's a CEO, but basically he's a puppet CEO. Yeah. He's basically like a bitch.
And Roman's line, remember? Like, your kids aren't even real. That was so harsh. Like, half Rava, half cabinet guy. Oh my God!
I think that's where Kendall loses his shit.
And that was sad because you know how in season 2 Logan hits Roman, and Kendall defends him. But he's doing what Logan would do to Rome. So that just got really ugly really quickly. Damn. And I love how it's like even their conference room is all glass. I feel like their dirty secret is like everybody knows. There's a double message there. Hey, let's rate the seasons. Which one was the best season for you?
Oh, it's difficult.
Let me go first then.
Okay.
For me, still the best season is season 2, and then it's season 4, and then it's season 1, and then it's season 3. That's how I rank it.
I would go the same way.
Really?
2, 4, 1, 3.
Yeah.
Or 2, 1, 4, 3. But season 3 would always be last for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would rank season 2 as the best still.
Season 2, I think it also had the best ending as well.
Not just the best ending, but the build-up was really good. Because it's like from the very first episode to the last, it's like
bam, 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 bam.
built up to that. Because we see like Kendall in zombie mode, and then we start to see small hints of him like and what's great about season 2 is it really humanized these characters. We got to see like Roman and Jerry start to build a relationship, and Shiv start to be more vulnerable. Not vulnerable, but Shiv seeking more power, because that's different for so I still feel season 2 is the best in terms of structure and story, even dialogue. And like you said, the fucking ending, the mic drop ending.
Yeah, it's like, how are we gonna wait for the next season if it ends like this?
And season 2 had the best soundtrack ever. L to the OG. We got Kendall rapping, and then Kendall stabbing his father and giving a Judas kiss. It's such a biblical, like Shakespearean show if you think about it. Hey, but season 4, I would give it an 8.5.
Season 3?
Season 4.
Oh, season
This
4.
season.
8.5. Okay.
Okay, never mind.
No, actually, I would... Season 4, I would give it an 8, maybe? 8.5?
I'll give it a 9. Because I gotta admit, like, after Logan's death, the show has been best for, like, episode 3 to, like, 7. Just the aftermath of, like... Logan's death on the plane till like Kendall living plus was like one of the most amazing parts of this whole series. I feel like they handled the drama that would happen after such a death of a king incredibly well, and it was so tense filled.
One reason why I'm not giving this a higher grade and a higher score is because we still have some loose ends. For example, now I don't really understand why the show described all those details about Lucas. You know, like sending the pack of blood to Ebba and blah blah blah. I thought that detail would have more meaning, and there would eventually be like a payoff.
That's a great point.
We didn't have that at all. They could have invested more on Lucas, but they didn't.
I guess like you have a good point, because he was charismatic for a couple. Like he was a Logan stand-in, but in the end, this show was about the Roy family. So I guess he kind of got some highlights, but he also got sidelined really quickly. And I did feel like his like beef with Roman would have built up to something more.
Yeah,
because but in the end, I guess the show is trying to tell us that it doesn't matter. And I think that part of that is us missing Logan too, because. Like Jerry put it, like it's like a Stockholm syndrome that we also have because we miss Logan. He's kind of the boss we love to hate, and I think that affects it too. But maybe part of the show's point is that it doesn't matter too. Lucas is just another Logan Roy, a psychopathic, abusive. Like he's abusive to his employees, just like Logan is.
Yeah,
and his credibility is also like. You know, like Ebba, I think she says like he wasn't even a coder. We built him up like that. Maybe that's true, maybe not. I don't know. But his because you know Logan also has been very ambiguous about his own past. We don't know how he actually got the throne. But given that Tom is kind of like Logan, we do kind of get this feel that Logan, as quote unquote a great man he is. We did see him in season 3 straight up, like threaten presidential like aid and saying, if you don't fucking like save me from prosecution, I'm gonna fuck your president. That's just called gangsterism, isn't it? So we don't know how much of a great man he is.
Yeah. So a lot of things are left ambiguous in regards to Lucas, but now that you say it, maybe it's not that unfair.
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So overall, it was a great season. We were sort of worried after Logan's death that the show might lose steam, but it didn't. It was
the actors. The hats off to the actors. And, it is a credit to Brian Cox's performance for the past 3 seasons and 3 episodes that we feel his shadow.
Yeah.
Every time, remember, like when he appeared in that green screen, that was terrifying. Like just seeing him as an avatar was terrifying.
Yeah, and I think this is gonna change his image forever because I remember Brian Cox, like being one of these side characters in usually like intelligence movies and stuff. What was it, like The Long Kiss Goodnight?
No, he was in Born Identity too. As
Gina Davis, that spy movie. But now all I remember him is as fuck off. That's all I remember now.
Yeah, it's a career-defining role, isn't it? And even for the actors too. Like that Roman actor Culkin.
Kieran Culkin.
He was in Fargo. You know that, right? Like season 2.
Yeah.
He was the little brother of the German gangsters. What a great actor! What a great actor!
Yeah.
Man, I want to thank the creator, Jesse Armstrong, for writing the series and the directors and all the actors. I hope you guys sweep the Emmys. Especially Sarah Snook, I think, Australian actor. I think I think Shiv was the most fascinating to watch this season. I gotta be honest, like her acting after Logan died, her reaction, and this last finale, like conference room battle, how she smiles at Kendall. Because I don't want to.
That's such a sibling thing, though.
And it's knifey as fuck. Kendall breaking down, Shiv is kind of right, because if Kendall had leadership, he would stay calm. But instead, he's like, no, please.
He just throws a tantrum and then
give it to me.
He starts begging for it.
Yeah. God damn. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. That was the finale. We give
Succession.
Our review. Maybe we will get a chance to talk about more of Succession. Maybe an Emmy season, or if you guys comment on your favorite episode, maybe we get to talk about that. Or maybe we will have like a single episode breakdown and shit. Cause I think this series we can watch. I will definitely watch again from season 1 to 4. And then there's going to be more to talk about. But anyway, this has been our take on season 4 finale of Succession and the whole series. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please press like and subscribe. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We'll see you later. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye.